If you are in the beginning of your academic journey and you're doing something at the university and you're working towards something and you don't know what to study and what to do, I have a solution for you. First, study math. It might take a year or 2 or 6 months or 3 months. It doesn't matter how long it will take, as much as you wish. So in several following quotes, you will understand why. So then physics. You can study physics for 6 months, for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. It doesn't matter. You just do this. Then programming. You can study it for a month, for 2, for 3, for 6, for 7. It doesn't matter. All that is kind of fundamental skills, fundamental subjects, which is, if you have an expertise or knowledge or experience with them, you're going to be valuable anyway. Anyway, you will be able to find a job. Otherwise, to learn something hard, whether it's robotics, electronics, AI, backend engineering, front end, doesn't matter. It's all up to you if you have your basics. Yeah, some of you might say that what a point to study math or physics if you can study programming, get a job, and you're cool. Now, do you see who said that the simple job is the one which satisfies you? You might be a programmer, it might seem hard for you. You might study a lot like about databases, microservices, communications and design and whatever. But it still might become super simplified in 6 months, in 12 months. It will become easier for you, so it won't be that interesting. You might not have that personal growth at your job and so on. So it might just become boring. So then you would like to make the next step, but you made already a lot of work on programming. All what you have is this experience, and you kind of don't want to step back and start to study physics and math as you are in school, for whatever reason it is, but usually it works this way. So yeah, and then you start to question yourself, why didn't I study math, why didn't I study physics, so I can go to a broader field, I can do more things, and stuff. It like might change and might make my life more interesting and engaging. And on top, yeah, you might have a lot of questions to reality on like how to study hard things, how to read mathematical notation, how to study physics, how to study big subjects, how this process is working, how to draw your ideas, and how to actually build things and make sure they build in the most optimal way. Those questions are not that simple. It's not just building a thing or just making a thing. It's more like what kind of the optimal way, that's need a lot of work to find this way. What's going to be optimal for your system, how to express your ideas in the way they work, how to research, and which pace to follow, where this level of enough, so to which you can push and like be satisfied with the results in learning anything or building anything or creating anything or taking any responsibility. So all that structure is given by the university and fundamental subjects, which take a lot of hours to work through. And I wouldn't lie, I didn't work through all what my university gave to me. I have a lot to study on top. I couldn't catch up on the whole list of subjects. Some of them I'm completely blank for some of them. It's okay. but I'm sure that I did my job at some of subjects, and I conduct some job, and I did something meaningful to myself in the future. So yeah. Um yeah. If you're interested about my journey on electrical engineering, you can check another video where I'm talking about my path. But in a short, I didn't pay a lot of attention to physics and electronics because we didn't have a lot of labs, and there were no real professionals in anywhere, so I can communicate with them, and no job opportunities in my country, so I can just skip it and switch to math and programming. Yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Yeah, and I could say, yeah, that's important. I still spend some time to reviewing some electronics, study electronic components, but I still didn't get any quite practical work with them, so I couldn't say I'm good at it, or I can literally use it. I probably know what's going on inside in some from the high level perspective. Yeah, so yeah, all that kind of stuff which is going on, like AI, this shit, this shit, it's all bullshit. So yeah, I mean, go for the fundamental skills. Everything else you can pick up on the fly. It just could be learned almost automatically. This relates to languages, this relates to coding. Even coding, it's not that hard to study on the fly while building project with ChatGPT, with internet. But for physics and math, you need to have environment and structure so you can follow it on the inside of your university. So those are more valuable. Even if you're a programmer, with knowing math and physics, it gives you much more confidence in that you qualified to take big decisions, and I think it's valuable, it's important. The science is where all the concept comes to the programming. And I understand if you like from humble beginnings, you just maybe you don't want to study that much, you hate theory, you can't go deep enough, and you just need to get a job, and I understand it perfectly. You can do it, but also keep in mind that university is hard. It's hard to keep up on it, and it's better to do in the life just because of those things. It might take a lot of time, but it will change you in a way. Probably if you hated learning, it will teach you that learning is actually good, and it will show you why it's good exactly. So you will thank yourself in the future. And yeah, thank you.